Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to test out the HAWKNEST V2 hammock. For my review, I want to know three things. One, is it as comfortable as the company claims it is? Two, is the rainfly fully waterproof? And three, is it worth the price? I set this hammock up yesterday knowing that rain was in the forecast. It is raining right now, so this has been sitting out for almost 24 hours. Before we get into the inspection of the rainfly and see how well this held up to the elements, let's go back to yesterday. Let's take a look at what it comes with, what all the components are, the setup, and then we'll get into the inspection. The total weight of this package, this hammock setup, is 3 pounds. The carrying case is 16.5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. The case is made out of 20D ripstop nylon. It does have a waterproof zipper, and it does have a little carrying handle right here. Inside, we will find the rainfly, the hammock, the tension straps, some pegs, and then of course an instruction manual. And there is 2 aluminum poles to hold up the mosquito netting. The total length of this hammock is 8 feet 9 inches. So you're gonna need at least 9 feet to 12 or 13 feet to allow yourself enough room so that you can make adjustments with the straps. There is a clip carabiner that comes with this. There's one at each end, and I'm just gonna start by clipping it part way. We'll get the other end on, and then we can start to adjust it. I've got it clipped in on both ends. I'm not gonna pull it completely tight at the moment. I wanna get the rest of the hammock set up, and then I will adjust the tension according to how taut I want it so that it's not sagging so much. I mean, we're basically setting up a tent that's suspended off the ground. Now, it is going to want to roll on you initially because of the weight of the poles, but once we get the air mattress in, get the sleeping bag in, then this is going to stand up straight. This hammock comes equipped with a pocket that you can slide your air mattress into. It's a forecast of rain, which is actually a good thing because we're going to put this through the test of rain as well. So there are some Velcro closures here where the door is. One thing I do like is that the door for the mosquito netting itself actually opens up halfway across, so you don't have to try to squeeze in. One thing I notice already is how much the door, when it's rolled up, it doesn't stay super secure. These tabs are actually pretty loose, and it could probably use a third one right in the middle. Okay, so as far as the length goes, I've got plenty of room at the head end. My feet are not even at the end, and I'm not touching the mosquito netting there. So there we go. We've got our full wraparound mosquito netting. You can see how much of an overlap there is with the rain fly. There is a hook at the end if you wanted to hang up a lantern or some clothing. There is another hook at this end right here. I don't know how much weight I would really put on here. I would probably just put a lightweight lantern. You wouldn't want to put anything too heavy on here because that's actually where the pole is to hold the rain fly up. Comfort wise, I mean, it's pretty comfortable. I can feel the cushioning of the air mattress underneath me. It does sag in the middle like every other hammock, unless it's a lay flat type hammock, which this isn't. I would have no problem. It's quite comfortable. I can lay pretty comfortably with my arms out to my side, and I don't feel as though it's wrapping me up too tight in an uncomfortable way. I could probably take a nap right now. So the height limit for this is 6 feet 6 inches. It has a weight capacity of 500 pounds. So I'm just reading the specs right now because I literally just got it in. And the maximum size sleeping pad that you can fit in here is 28 inches wide by 3 inches thick and 80 inches long. The total width from the tip of the fly pole from side to side is 4 feet 6 inches. Webbing straps that come with it, the daisy chain straps, they are 1 inch wide with a total length of 9 feet 6 inches. The rain fly itself is a 20D ripstop nylon that does have a waterproof coating. Let's see how it does with my rigid Thermarest air mattress. Okay. So with my air mattress in the pocket underneath, I do notice a difference of how it holds its shape. It does feel a little bit more flat. It's comfortable. And it doesn't allow the hammock to sag quite as much in the middle. So there is quite a bit of a noticeable difference with that. I think for myself, I would have a better sleep if I used that style of air mattress. But then there's the compromise of size and weight of the air mattress itself. So that's just my opinion on it. But I would still be okay with the compact inflatable air mattress that I got from HAWKNEST. I do find that this one does lay a little bit more flat. I think it does help having the pocket underneath that holds the air mattress into place, because it can be a little cumbersome. It can be a pain in the butt with trying to shuffle your air mattress underneath you inside of a regular hammock. So comfort wise, it was very comfortable, very spacious. Practicality. Okay, this is not going to be for everybody. What I do like is the fact that in this one little bag, you have basically a 3-in-1 system. So you have your hammock or tent, you have the bug net, and you have the rain fly, all in one bundle. Who would this be good for? Well, light backpacking, canoe tripping, maybe motorcycle touring. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it's not very heavy. You're definitely going to get a lot of looks at the campground with having something like this set up. It does have practical applications, just depending on what your activity is, where you're going camping, and how you're going to use it. One thing I do notice is that the hammock itself is all triple stitched. So you can see there's actual triple stitching right here. Okay, they do use good quality webbing with the carabiner, which has a strength rating of 5 kilonewtons, and you have a very long daisy chain, or this webbing, that is going to come in handy if you don't have sufficient trees around you. One concern that I have is that in all of these areas, it's a single stitch, as well as where the mosquito netting is stitched into the hammock. And my concern is when you get in, because there is going to be a lot of weight and force applied when you sit, you should try to sit into the middle and not on the edge. But my concern is that this may pull away or cause a tear in the mosquito netting. The fly itself is all double stitched. I like that they use this vented fabric right here where the poles go through. That helps to keep the weight down. I really don't like the fact that the door just keeps sliding out and rolling down. Simple fix would be to put another tab in the middle. I would like to see an option or some way of having a pole built into here where you could actually have this extend out and use this as a covered area. Now, I don't recommend trying to attach this to any cord and to a tree. You'll just rip it, because when you get in and out of the hammock, the amount of force. But you could have a pole system where it goes through the door and then it holds the door up, and then that's giving you a covered space. Now on the inside are these little tabs, and that's to hold the pole in place so that it lines up with the seam, and that's what's creating the proper tension. I just find that these little tabs could have been made a little bit better, because I don't know how long or how well this is going to last. I mean, it is stitched in there, but I'm not really a fan. I think what would be a better idea is an actual clip where this would clip to the pole and you don't actually have to tie it. So there's the hammock without the fly on it. I don't have the mosquito net done up, but this is going to give you a better idea of how much space you have. There's actually quite a bit of room inside of this. You don't have to use this hammock as a suspension from the trees. You can use this as a ground tent. All you have to do is set it up on the ground, and where the carabiners are to clip into, that's why it has some tent pegs. So you can stretch that out and have this on the ground. All right, we're gonna wrap this up for now. The rain's coming in tonight. I'll check on this in the morning, and let's see if this is actually waterproof. Is this gonna do the trick? All right, we'll be back. All right, let's open this up. I did leave my sleeping bag in overnight because I wanted to see if it actually got wet. Time to inspect this. Well, if you're looking for a hammock setup like this, keep in mind, this is a Canadian company. They are based out of Kelowna, British Columbia. The customer service was excellent. I was actually emailing back and forth with the owner, Lucas, who was very helpful. So it's nice to see with a smaller company that, you know, you're getting that type of service. You can see how much the water is beading on here, so it's not actually saturated because of the waterproof coating. And you can see the water is just running off of it, which is nice. All right, so far I am liking what I am seeing. Doesn't look like there's any water that's gathered on the inside. Let's open the mesh panel and take a look. All right, first thing, let's take a look and see. My pillow is bone dry. The sleeping bag is bone dry. And what I was curious is if any water was gonna come in. You can see at the very end, that's where it wraps around the strap. So there is a tiny opening, and this is bone dry. Well, that's a good sign. Okay, it's time to wrap this one up. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on the HAWKNEST V2 hammock. Is it as comfortable as the company claims that it is? Is it actually waterproof? And is it worth the price? I did find this more supportive, and it didn't sag in the middle as much as my other hammock because of the air mattress sleeve underneath. So as far as comfort goes, yes, I'm gonna say it was very comfortable. As far as it being waterproof, well, we've already shown you 100% waterproof. The water is just rolling off of the fly. There was no water inside whatsoever. So waterproof, yes. Now, is it worth the price? If you go onto the website, you can get this hammock now for $139 Canadian. So is it worth the price? I would say yes. For $140, you're getting a 3-in-1 system. You're getting the hammock, the mosquito netting, and the fly. So is it worth the price? I would say yes. Am I gonna recommend it? Sure, this might not be for everyone, but for a compact, lightweight little unit, this really could come in handy depending on what your adventure is. All right, I'm gonna give my final rating on this hammock. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. The reason being, one, like I had showed earlier, the door. It is a little frustrating that the door doesn't actually stay in place. I think a simple fix, maybe a newer version, would be putting a third tab in the middle to keep the door up. Another one that I have a concern with is the stitching on the mosquito netting itself. It's single stitched, and when you're getting in and out, you're putting a lot of pressure when you go to sit down. Time will tell. I'm hoping that it'll hold up. The other one that, you know, would be a nice option is another way to have the door suspended open. But for a standalone unit, I think it's pretty good, and I'm looking forward to some more adventures in this. All right, so I want to say thanks to Lucas for his excellent customer service, helping me out, and guys, support Canadian. All right, thanks for watching.